start the rebuilding of life. The roads that lay open are many, and the old ones gone under the knife. And I can feel the sun on my skin, beginning to thaw from
보이잖아.
Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of old lang syne? For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne, we'll talk a cup of kindness yet for days of old lang syne. And here's a hand, my trusty friend, and here's a hand of thine. We'll talk a cup of kindness yet for old lang syne. For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne. We'll talk a cup of kindness yet for old lang syne. Should